Welcome back to Fak'8 TV News. This is Gregory Higgins, and you're at the place where you can hear the only real fake news that matters. Not only do we have breaking news, but we break the news in the same way that we break wind, and you're here with our anchormen.
Mike Siri here, and I'm going to tell you about the future of celebrity presidents, where junkies can get free drugs, and the future of elderly pot smokers.
And
Jeff Semperbon here, and I have clues on how to get through the winter blues, report on a new breed of cold weather mosquitoes, and sun worshippers.
And Jeff is going to lead us off with our first story on the sun worshippers.
Sun worshippers, who belong to a small neo-pagan church in Brattleboro, issued a statement praising President Trump's recent decision to place a tariff on imported solar panels. But they say that the tariff doesn't go far enough in protecting sunlight. The Reformed Sol Invictus Church says that the tariff on cheap imported photovoltaic panels should reduce the number of installations, but feel that a similar tariff on domestic panels is also needed to further reduce their use. The church says that these panels treat the sunlight irreverently, converting it directly into solar power electrical power in a manner that the sun god never intended. They also warn that installations of solar panels reduce the amount of sunlight available for the public and put the benefits of the sunlight into the hands of a few entrenched special interests who can afford to steal sunlight from the rest of us. At this time, we have not received any indication that the Trump administration has responded to the church's demands for further restrictions on the solar power industry. And back to you, Greg.
Thank you very much, Jeff, on that sunlight. People stealing sunlight. How greedy can you get?
What was that word you said? It was irrelevantly?
Irreverent.
Ah, okay.
Irreverent.
Having a little trouble there with it.
Now for our next story. Extensive investigation work that the FBI and the CIA are performing has all been just a well-planned act, according to a shocking new report. That's right, investigations that the FBI and CIA have been supposedly performing to uncover Russia's involvement and collusion with the 2016 presidential election has all been just a hoax. With extensive work through our team of Fak'8 TV News investigative reporters, we have been able to unravel the cloak of deceit that the FBI has been weaving into the fabric of the United States government. Through exhaustive and well-thought-out bobbing and weaving, our team of investigative reporters slithered their way into and onto top-secret FBI emails, texts, and files, and we bring you this news to you now through the most dangerous and life-threatening circumstances, because we have to do whatever we can to inform the un-American public that the future of the United States is in dire straits. The horrific and unbelievable news we have to bring you is that the FBI has been in the works of forming their very own separate shadow government, and a coup is in progress. That's right, the United States is in the middle of a hostile takeover, and nobody knew it was happening except for us at Fak'8 TV News. Currently, the FBI has agents selected, in place, and ready to take over the majority of cabinet positions in the White House. So get ready. We will shortly be seeing a new form of FBI government taking over and in charge of the White House. The new president will soon be seeing in charge will be former FBI agent James Comey, with Robert Mueller as vice president and Peter Strzok as Speaker of the House. Although it appears that the UN Rep. Nikki Haley, Attorney General Jeff Sessions, and Secretary of State Rex Tillerson will be maintaining their positions, most other positions will be replaced. And remember, you heard it here first at Fak'8 TV News.
Wow. Bad for democracy, but they might do a better job.
That is a possibility that they will improve the
You know, I was wondering, because in math, two negatives make a positive. I'm just wondering if two fake stories make it a real story. In which case, you know, you would then have to make sure you had an even number of fake stories every week. I'm just throwing that out.
I think we'd have to have the CIA and the FBI figure that one out.
That could be.
Now for our next story.
Now that the office of U.S. President has attained the greatest height of the mass media marketplace, it is our belief at Fak'8 TV News that we need to stay there. And how can we keep our country great and on top, you might ask? Well, the key is through insanity, greed, and stupidity. It is our belief that the process for locating possible new presidential candidates needs to go through a casting process, the same as used for Hollywood actors. After all, President Trump has proven that the position of the President of the United States does not have to be filled by a person that actually knows how to do the job, but it needs to be filled by a person that knows how to act like they know what they're talking about. Keep an audience engaged, stay focused on what people hate the most, and look good in front of an audience and on camera. Just remember, you heard it here first on Fak'8 TV News. Celebrity presidents, the standard future of politics.
Thank you very much, Mike. This very informative story you had for us tonight.
Consider my work here as training for when that happy day comes, I may consider running.
And Jeff has our next story.
The Vermont judiciary is investigating the problem of witnesses tampering, where those scheduled to testify have been contacted by email by defendants and their associates. This problem came to light recently in the murder trial of Greg Smith, whose girlfriend, Wendy Morris, was accused of sending potentially intimidating text messages to another witness. State Supreme Court ordered an investigation to see whether this is a problem in other cases. While the study has just started, the investigating commission has released a preliminary report saying that they've already found many witnesses who've been contacted by individuals or organizations associated with the defendants in their trial. However, to date, none of the complaints have involved effort to coerce witnesses or to influence their testimony. Instead, witnesses report that the friends or family of defendants have contacted them to request nude photos, to offer resort vacation packages or cruises, or to sell them an extended vehicle warranty.
Extended vehicle warranties.
Yes. So you can spend more money on the warranty than if you just put it in your savings account and then took it out and paid for the repair yourself.
I wouldn't have been able to figure that out by myself. That's why Jeff's here. He knows how to do these things. Now, for our next story, we have all heard in the news from the District of Columbia at one time or another about how President Trump is rich with emoluments. We at Fak'8 TV News have been able to discover the actual reason for why our President Trump has become so rich and amassed such success and wealth, and it's all because of his beautiful hair. That's right, it's truly possible. And while you may have difficulty believing it, the actual reason why President Trump has amassed such success and wealth is all contained in his long, beautiful blonde hair. For all of you who are familiar with the story of Samson from the Bible, it's similar to, or more like that. And since we here at Fak'8 TV News have discovered the key to amassing such success and wealth, we have made a decision to share it with you, our TV and Facebook viewers.
Are you ready? Okay, here it is. The actual truth behind President Trump's ability to amass such great wealth is all contained in his shampoo and hair products. That's right. He's been using a very special formula of shampoo and hair products that is very high in emoluments content. And it's very fortunate for you, our television and Facebook viewers, that here at Fak'8 TV News Laboratories, our scientists have been able to deconstruct the chemical compounds of those hair products. We've been able to actually come up with this highly complex chemical compound. To accomplish this, we had to attain the secret ingredients by having his Honduran maid sneak away with a small sample of his custom blended shampoo and hair conditioner while cleaning his bathtub. We then had the contents of the samples analyzed by our chemists at Fak'8 TV News Laboratories, where we discovered the compounds and components in the hair products.
That's right. We found the reason behind Trump's success and the way to accumulate great amounts of wealth, popularity, and substance. And we here at Fak'8 TV News are willing to share that with you. Yes, that's right. You can be the next big success and be like President Trump, building great big sky towers that will have your name on them. You will have hair that will stand out in a crowd, and a sudden immediate and newfound confidence that you never had before.
Women will find you more attractive, desirable, and coming at you from every direction. You will be able to grab pussy whenever you like. That's right, never-ending pussy-grabbing capabilities. What would you give to be able to amass such wealth, popularity, and pussy-grabbing capabilities? And what would it cost you to be able to amass such wealth and popularity? What is it worth to get all this and more?
Well, we here at Fak'8 TV News are telling you it won't cost you much in comparison to what you'll get. What you'll get is those great big tall shining towering apartment buildings with your name on them. Those big long shiny limousines. The slinky happy to please beauty queens. All the finest Big Macs cooked to perfection. You'll be drinking the finest wines, smoking the biggest cigars, and sending out tweets that your followers will love to share. Pussy-grabbing capabilities, church leniency, and forgiveness for your sins, and wealth beyond comprehension. What is it worth?
We here at Fak'8 TV News are telling you it won't cost much. That's right, it won't cost you much, because due to the work we have just now completed at Fak'8 TV News Laboratories, we have come up with a product that duplicates the emoluments responsible for Trump's success. A product that may bring you riches beyond belief. This fantastic, stupendous, amazing, incredible, ingenious product is called Emolumentious. That's right, Emolumentious shampoo, hair conditioner, and hairspray will have you amassing wealth and grabbing all the pussy you want in no time flat.
That's right, Emolumentus, and it's all available through Oh No Co. products. You, too, can call yourself a stable genius and have millions of people believe it. Now our lawyers tell us that we do need to make buyers aware of some very minor side effects that may have been noted in a small number of users. These side effects include indecisiveness, difficulty in distinguishing fact from fiction, narcissism, reduced impulse control when using social media, and an insatiable craving to watch cable news shows.
You can get the 12-ounce shampoo, the 12-ounce conditioner, and the 12-ounce aerosol hairspray for the low, low price of $29.95. Where else could you find a deal like this for only $29.95 that could possibly make you billions and billions of dollars? So if you really, really want to be rich, famous, and popular, call now. And don't be slow, because supplies of Emolumentus won't last, and you'll lose out and stay a loser. So don't be a loser and call today. Be a winner today with Fak'8 TV News and Emolumentous hair products.
Thank you very much, guys, on Emolumentus. This is a monumentous occasion just to have this product available for our customers.
And the laboratory says it will work no matter how much or how little hair you may have.
Wow.
I'm excited about that.
That's great. Can you believe that? This is totally amazing. I'm so glad we came up with this. Next story, Dateline, Mount Palomar Observatory. California scientists received today what they believe is a standardized message from a higher form of intelligence. After deciphering, it appears that the message was drafted in a way that it could be readily comprehended by any recipient of lower intelligence. For a loss of a title for the sender of the message, what we will call God has become ambivalent toward the human race. It appears that the human race is just a hobby for a God, a being, an entity with unlimited time and space on his hands. Well, this is the message that everyone needs to hear. People need to know that God does not know and never did care about us at all. God wrote in the message that he has had it up to here with all this your nonsense, and up to here is a lot higher than your feeble brains could imagine. God said he's going to take the planet back and start a new hobby. God wrote it was all right while it lasted, but the dinosaurs were far more interesting and satisfying hobby than is what happening on Earth right now. God wrote that human history has repeated itself way too many times. It's getting quite monotonous and boring. Therefore, God instructs us in the message to prepare yourselves, as this will be the end very soon. The global warming process is going way too slowly, and he's decided to speed it up a bit. God has selected and placed nuclear terrorists throughout the planet, and they are readying themselves to turn the whole planet into a radioactive fireball. The end of the human race will be helped along not only by terrorists, but very much by the so-called civilized world. The nuclear terrorists will be detonating their bombs in a way that the nuclear powers of the world will believe that they are under attack and forced to defend themselves. So not only will the terrorists detonate all their nuclear bombs, but all the nuclear powers of the world will send their nuclear weapons to the countries that they are unaware that they are under attack. The planet will be wiped clean, ready for God's next project, whatever that may be. So you can only imagine what. Sorry, we at Fak'8 TV News had to be the ones to report this, but it was God's message, and that's the way it is.
Not to be argumentative, but we heard from God. In the interest of fair play, shouldn't we hear from Satan?
Would be balanced. I do believe God's message tends to support the view that the only thing that stops a bad guy with a nuclear weapon is a good guy with a nuclear weapon.
And that's right. Satan would probably want us to keep running things the way we are now, wouldn't he?
I would think so.
Yeah.
It would certainly fit in with the plan.
And also, remember, I know it's January, but Satan, Santa, just one little letter switch.
One step to the next.
I never liked that fat bearded guy.
Fat bearded guys. Well, here's a skinny bearded guy. On my right, Jeff's got the next story.
As many of our viewers are aware, seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, can be a health concern at this time of year, causing depression and related adverse health effects. Previously, the Vermont Department of Mental Health has tried to counter the effects of SAD by importing miserable people from warmer climates, typically retirees from Arizona or Florida. Complaints of these people have of their various physical ailments, their disappointment with their children's life choices, and their inability to cope with winter weather have served to cheer Vermonters that their lives don't seem so bad in comparison. Unfortunately, while this program has been effective in reducing depression for Vermonters during the dark winter months, it has also been found to cause anxiety and irritation during the rest of the year, as the state has been unable to get these complainers to go back home once winter is over and their litany of personal woes is no longer helpful. This year, state is considering a new plan, which coordinates with the Department of Corrections to bring tour groups through the state's correctional facilities to see how miserable the lives of the inmates are, so that their own lives will seem better by comparison. This is expected to cheer Vermont residents during the winter, while preventing the inmates from providing an irritant during the warmer months when they can be conveniently forgotten and ignored until next winter.
All right, thank you very much, Jeff. Tour the local prisons. That might be fun.
Your life won't seem so bad in comparison.
Yeah, that is right. And Mike has a story on how those people got there, or maybe the people that wind up there in that prison.
This next Fak'8 TV news story is for all of you that have been seeing advertisements on TV and in the newspapers for where you can leave your leftover and unused drugs. The advertisements warn us that those leftover narcotics can be hazardous to children and need to be properly disposed of. We are all told that we need to bring those unused drugs to specified drop-off locations, typically the local police station where they will be disposed of properly. Well, that disposal process has changed because now, in the states of Vermont and New Hampshire, there will be a new system in place. Local politicians have realized that it does not make sense to dispose of narcotics that can still be of use to those who need or like to use them. So, from now on, in the states of Vermont and New Hampshire, there will be newly installed junkie drop box in or around every town hall where people can dispose of their unwanted drugs without having to bring them into the police, with the officer at the desk watching whatever a person has been using. Inspired by the Little Free Library program, these drop boxes will provide a place where junkies can go when they need a fix and have run out of money. So from now on, junkies that are down on their luck and need a fix no longer have to consider robbing or stealing from strangers or family to make the money to get their next fix. So from here on, when a junkie needs a fix, all they have to do is go to their local town hall junkie drop box, pick out the drugs they like, and go home. Well, if they have one.
Thanks, Mike. And the politicians came up with that idea. I wonder if they're going to sneak in and grab a little.
Well, I think it was,
Or the politicians got tired of having to go to the police station and having the police see what they've been using.
that could be. But I think it was a, bilateral commission, kind of a joint approach.
Bilateral joints. I never smoked one of those. I should try one sometime.
Yeah.
Anyway, for our next story. A California man with a daily sushi habit discovered during a bowel movement that he had acquired a tapeworm from one of his lunches. He pulled and pulled at the worm, and when it finally came out, it was 5 foot 6 inches long. He then took it and placed it in his fish tank, where it immediately consumed all the fish in the tank. The tapeworm apparently was not filled after his fish dinner, and then escaped the fish tank and ate his cat and 2 small children, and escaped out the back door. There is currently a search in progress by police and animal control officers. They are warning the public that the creature may be dangerous and should not be approached. Our viewers in other locations should not feel too comfortable, as we have received reports that large, potentially monster tapeworms resulting from eating contaminated sushi have appeared in several other states, although so far none have been as large and aggressive as the California specimen. Sources indicate that the federal government is planning to warn the public about the risk, but the warning has been delayed by a dispute over whether this matter falls under the Center for Disease Control, the Food and Drug Administration, or the Department of Homeland Security. I hope they get that decided soon on who's going to take care of this, because I'd hate to see one of these things running down my street.
Yeah.
Now, this may be inappropriate for television viewers, but I mean, I never check things after, I'm done. I mean, I take care of business, but I guess I'm gonna have to start looking down in the bowl.
5 foot 6 inch tapeworm may not fit in the bowl.
Well, it'd probably roll up,
I think you really have to pull it out. It's not just going to come out on its own. But anyway, speaking of monsters, Jeff has a next blood-sucking story to tell us.
While many outdoor enthusiasts dislike bitter cold weather, one thing they appreciate about winter is the lack of biting insects that plague the warmer seasons. Unfortunately, that may be ending, according to a leaked report that Fak'8 TV News has received from an unnamed source at the Vermont Department of Entomology. The report documents skiers and snowboarders at several resorts in the Waterbury Stowe area who have received mosquito bites in recent weeks. Researchers have been able to recover specimens and found that these mosquitoes to be mutated species that are able to survive and fly for a short time, even at temperatures below freezing. However, to sustain this ability, they require fresh blood at frequent intervals, making them even more voracious and aggressive than normal mosquitoes. Several bite victims report suffering multiple bites when they were attacked so rapidly that they were unable to start swatting at the pests before suffering significant blood loss. Fortunately, none of the victims were found to have contracted mosquito-borne illnesses, such as Triple E or the West Nile virus. At this time, it is unknown whether these are a naturally occurring mutation, or more likely, mosquitoes that have been genetically altered deliberately to enable them to attack in cold weather. Combined with the possibility to use such mosquitoes as a disease vector in a form of biological attack, potential security risk posed by these mutant mosquitoes has caused the federal government to classify any information about them at this time. However, our valiant informant, who remains unknown to avoid reprisals, felt that the public needs to be informed about this new potential threat.
Wow. The cold weather mutated flying mosquitoes sucking their blood. Yep.
So,
Yeah, mutant mosquitoes in the winter, vampire ticks in the summer. It's getting dangerous.
Vampire ticks. I haven't heard about them yet.
You reported on them
a few
months
weeks ago, yeah. It's true.
Well, Mike, I think you're at the right age where this story may affect you also.
Of course. Well, Attorney General Jeff Sessions has made an effort to target poor young people and communities of color for his increased enforcement of marijuana laws. A recent report finds that the marijuana industry has taken the initiative to target the elderly in retirement villages in order to get them to try their products. Currently, a large part of why the legality of marijuana is being declined in several states is due to the fact that those that have never tried it have been voting against it. The marijuana industry is convinced that if they can get our ever-increasing elderly population to try their product, they will enjoy it and that it will highly increase the enjoyment of their life in those later years. The current marijuana industry is so convinced and emphatic about their possible popularity among the elderly that it has already started designing marijuana joint, brownie, and beverage dispensing machines that are specifically designed to be easily operated by those with impaired motor skills and cognitive abilities. With the help of Google Maps and Google Earth, distributors are targeting prime locations for their dispensaries in retirement communities across the country, and they are numerous. The marijuana industry is convinced that once the cranky elderly individuals who currently oppose legalization try their products, their joy of living life will increase, partially due to the decrease of noticing those aches and pains, and they will be happier and sure to change their vote and vote affirmatively towards the legalization of their products.
Or at least they'll just not really care to go out and vote because they'll be slouched out at home whipping through food.
Yeah, well, you know.
They might forget all their problems. Hey. Smoke your dreams away. Does that make sense? Or no, you're going to dreamland when you smoke that stuff. Hold on a second here. Okay, well, thank you very much, Mike, for that story. Well, that's it for our show. This is Gregory Higgins, and I'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch our news tonight. So you guys at home, ladies and children of all sizes, colors, and ethnicities, when the story is too good to wait for the facts, we at Fak'8 TV bring you the truth as we see it. May you all live a good, clean life, and remember to be honest to the spirit that lives within you. Have a great day and a good night until next time. Mike, could you say good night?
Good night, au revoir, and sayonara.
And Jeff, could you say good night?
Good night, viewers. Watch out for mosquitoes, the government, and God.
We're all out to get you.